What's going on, everyone? Happy Sunday to you all out there. It is my favorite day of the week. It is my favorite day of the week because we are talking Atlanta, episode 6. Wow, can't believe we're 6 episodes in. Crank that killer, and then later tonight, y'all know gotta talk about them dragons. We gotta talk about them dragons later tonight. So again, this is my favorite time of the week. Chopping it up with you all, talking about some of my favorite shows on TV right now. And man, listen. We did the breakdown the other day, man, and I've watched the episodes a couple more times since then. This episode was fire, man. You got to crank that. It's so many great moments, man. So many serious moments. Darius and Earn relationship going to the next level. Can we say that? And so much more, man. I'm so excited to break it all down for you all here on this Sunday fun day. But before we get into it, we got some guests that's going to be joining us in a little bit. But I'm gonna say what's up to everyone in the chat. And we'll get the conversation going. Maxine showing some love. Congratulations. Thank you so much. Yeah, we will be discussing that and probably earlier in the week as far as planning out a stream or something like that. But it's thank you to you all. Congratulations to you all for helping this community continue to grow. So I appreciate every single one of y'all. Zia, good afternoon. How many times has Al, right? Listen, we'll talk about that today, man. How many more times can he cheat death? It was scary. It was a scary episode, no doubt. And man, my man Al, he needs to get a security guard. He needs to hire Tracy back, right? He needs Tracy to come back to keep him safe out in these streets. But we will be definitely talking about that. But again, shout out to you all that's tuning in live. And again, we'll get people kind of coming in here in a little bit and get things going, especially when we get our guests here. But listen, man. If you guys haven't already, give this video a thumbs up. These are literally the best conversations I've had with this show when I have, whether it's Brandon on the show and our guest Tyra, who'll be joining us here in a second. We had 9 on last week. We've had we had L on the channel a couple times talking about it. It's so much fun breaking down this show. And it's bittersweet, as I've been saying, because we only got 4 more episodes, 7, 8, 9, 10 to the finale. Damn, man. They say time goes by when you're having fun, but we're going to take advantage of all this goodness before we wrap up the show in a couple weeks. But I'm so happy to be here with you all and chopping it up. Andrew, what's going on to you, man? How we doing today? My man, Tyree. Hey, Tyree, man, I know we've been talking to him for a while, man. We got to link up, bro. I know you watch Atlanta, and I appreciate you being here and everyone that's here with us now. But we gotta exchange some DMs, Tyree, and I need to get you on a channel, bro, especially talking about this show. But this episode is off the chain. So much going on. It's hard to keep up. Donald said this was the last season, so we got to go. Yeah, he did indeed. And this episode was the last, man. These last few episodes for me, obviously episode 1 and 2 were fire. 3 was great, but for me, I think 4, 5, and 6 have hit this old school, season 1 and 2 vibe that, not that other episodes haven't, been hitting the mark, but these just feel like old school classic. And then one of the reasons I'm saying is because they had so many callbacks to the first 2 seasons. So yeah, man, they've been hitting this stride these last 3 weeks, and this whole season's been great, but these last 3, 4 episodes, 4, 5, and 6 have been fire. But yeah, Taryn, yeah, definitely, man. I think we follow each other on IG or Twitter or something like that, man. But we'll figure it out. But we definitely have to figure a way to get you on a channel and chop it up with you, bro. Watching Dahmer Monster, it is that time of the year where apparently Dahmer is the most talked about person right now with the 2 Netflix series going on right now, which is insane. But I've seen the first episode. I watched the first episode of the Evan Peters one, but I haven't seen the doc that they did. So lit AF. I don't know if I would call a Jeffrey Dahmer program lit, but hey, shout out to Jacob, man. some of my favorites this season. Yeah, yes, William, yes, for sure. It's been hidden, bro. It's been hidden on so many levels. And again, for a fan perspective, I love how they're tying all the stuff back from season 1 and 2, whether it was the Princeton situation with Earn, and obviously we'll talk about in this episode. Listen, man, when I saw this MFer come up on screen, my mind went immediately to season 1, man. I'm trying to find, do I have a picture of him? I don't think I do, but either way, I'm talking about the guy. Yeah, this guy here. When I saw this dude on screen, I'm like, yo, Streisand effect. This is that same dude that was talked about. We'll get into that a little bit later. But yeah, I think one of the reasons why I'm such a so high on these new episodes, these last 3 episodes, just because again, it's tying back to the OGs, man. Great callbacks, and I'm a fan of great callbacks. But let's see what else we got in here. Let's see. This episode was crazy. Shout out to John showing some love. The scene trying to get Paperboy's attention with the freestyle. Right? There's a time and a place, Roberto, who we'll talk about as well. But he shot his shot, right? Literally, figuratively and literally. But he's get pushed to the glass. Yeah, that was wild AF. And John, shout out to John. We'll be talking about Roberto, man, because I said in my breakdown, I don't think you spend that much time on that character without having. I mean, obviously the payoff was he's trying to get attention. He's trying to get his name out there. He's trying to get out, potentially sign him. There's that like angle of it, and it could literally be it, right? But I think there's more to it, man. As I said in my review, I think we might see Roberto again later on, some way, somehow in the future, bro. So we'll talk about Roberto a little bit later. What's going on? Much love. Appreciate you. This episode gonna be rolling from the beginning to the end. Yeah, not a dull moment. And the moment that killed me, y'all, was going back to the Streisand effect when Ern and Darius became friends, and seeing their friendship go to the next level in this episode was something very interesting, right? So yeah, we would definitely talk about that. I just didn't. Okay, sweet, cool. I'm gonna check it out. And Tyree, I'm definitely gonna have to get you on between now or between episode next week and the finale, man. We definitely gonna link up and figure something out, bro. Definitely. When he got thrown through the glass, that man got muffed so hard, y'all. But listen, man, is it who thinks about rapping? And again, it shows how funny this show is. Like, obviously, these people in Atlanta, like, this is like on another world. Sometimes people just don't do things you would normally do. So, I mean, he thought this was a shot. You know, this is his Eminem moment, his opportunity, one chance to blow. You know what I'm saying? And he took it, man, and ended up getting thrown through the glass, which I don't know metaphorically if that means anything, being literally thrown through a glass. Like, I don't know. There's so many layers to this, man. But anyway, as I'm rambling on, again, shout out to all y'all. That's 39 of y'all that's tuning in live. You can do your boy a favor, hit that thumbs up, hit that share button, and this is live, y'all. So leave your thoughts, comments, concerns, theories, deeper meanings, Easter eggs, you name it. Leave it in the chat. And we will try to get to as many of those as possible. My special guest is here. First question I have for her is we're going to briefly talk about Halloween Ends without spoiling things. I definitely want to talk to her about that, but we're definitely going to be talking about this episode. But so happy to see her for the last few weeks, and she always comes with the fire content on her on social media accounts and her YouTubes, which she'll go ahead and plug. But she also just drops so many great nuggets when we have these conversations. I'm so excited to have her back on. I'm talking about the one and only Tyra from Struggle TV.
Hey.
What's going on, Tyra? How we doing?
What's up, Elliot? How you doing? I'm great. I'm doing good.
Hey, Tyra. Evo died this weekend with Halloween, and but we'll say that here for a second. But I'm doing good. How's your Sunday going so far?
It's going really, really good. Like, you just brought me down just even mentioning that the Eagle died. Like, it definitely did, but it's going great. You know, Atlanta can always pick you back up when you have a bad experience.
Yes, it is. Yes, indeed. This episode was even scarier than that movie, I tell you that. But Tyra, before we get your thoughts on this episode and see what you've been watching and been up to lately, why don't you either reintroduce yourself for the people that's been tuning in these last couple of weeks, or introducing yourself for the first time? Who are you, and what can people find your content?
All right. I am Tyra with Struggle Reviews TV. Of course, my handle is on the screen. You can find my channel. You can also find me on Instagram to stay up to date on what I have to offer. Of course, I do throwback content, which has a paywall, or sometimes I just throw things out there. I also do TV shows, skits, comedy. I don't know. It's a whole variety at this point. I'm just gonna call my channel a variety show, like, moving forward, because that's what it's turning into. But come on over and check me out and have a good old time, because that's what it always is.
Yes, it is a good old time indeed. And Tyra, as far as that content you were just talking about, why don't you? Yeah, what have you been watching? With some of the reviews that people have been requesting? And let's just briefly talk about Halloween for a little bit. But what's some stuff you've been watching lately, Tyra?
Well, I just got on, but now I was getting into The Watcher on Netflix.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, time flies by. So I thought that was a couple weeks from now, but yeah.
Yeah. That's what I thought. Like, I was just trying to get into the Midnight Club, but once I kind of watched it, I was like, okay, this is feeling like more of a teenage. I got goosebumps,
Why?
R.L.
Yeah.
Stein,
Are you
kind of
afraid of the
vibe.
dark?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it wasn't
Yep.
as adult as I assumed it would be, so I
Yeah.
didn't really. But The Watcher, it seemed really promising, so I'm getting into that. There's just so much. Like, of course, I have not got to the movies yet to watch Terrifier 2. I know how you feel about that one, but I'm
Like the
so
plan.
eager to see that and talk
Yeah.
about it. And yeah, just that. And just as far as things that are coming up that are throwbacks, someone just purchased Menace to Society. That's going to be
Ooh,
awesome.
classic. Classic.
And I got some Scream, Blackula Scream, and someone also purchased Child Play, to close out October on a good note. So that's going to be interesting. It's some great stuff coming up, some great opportunities for me to do some skits and be Chucky. I'm excited.
Ooh, Tyra, I'm gonna need you to highlight some of that beef when you get to that. When I'm talking about that Megan and Chucky beef, are you familiar with that beef that's going on right now between the Megan
No,
doll?
no.
Yo, it's
I mean, I
hilarious,
saw
Tyra.
the trailer.
The
Like,
trailer had
first
me
of
dying.
all, like, that's a whole different thing. Because from the trailer, Megan looked like she got swag. She's about to hit the Dougie. Like, she's doing a whole lot. Like,
Oh
what's going
man.
on with that? I mean, she wouldn't be the first to be, a doll or, something Chucky-esque coming out. Like,
Yeah.
what's the beef?
I it's over between Megan and Chucky, and sooner rather than later. I'll tell you that. But briefly, Tyra, again, y'all can check out her review on her channel. She has a full breakdown on it. But I briefly wanted to just ask you, Tyra, Halloween ends. What was going on, Tyra? What was going on with that movie? And by the way, before we even get there, I just had to pull this up because this gets me every damn time. I'm gonna see this movie just for this scene right here. Just for this scene, I gotta see this movie. I mean, come on now, isn't it? But just for that scene, I gotta see this movie. It's a must see at the top of the year. But Tyra, it's Halloween. What was going on? What was going on?
I was really trying to make fetch happen with that movie. Like, when they decided, whoever wrote in the script that we all know that Michael Myers is getting older as well as Laurie Strode.
Oh yeah.
That's seen, but for who he's always been to what we got to just make him weak and like a punk. I was like,
shout out to L.
What is this? I was so shocked at the route that they took, but taking his mask and his knife, like that was it.
That was another level of disrespect Tyra that I just couldn't stomach.
But I'm a fan of the franchise, so I thought we were gonna go like the Jamie route, where we have that one that nobody talks about with Paul Rudd. I thought we were gonna go like, oh, this person sees, so because they gave him whole Raven Simone supervision, like he could see into the future all of a sudden. And I thought this was gonna be like, oh, Eber never dies, it's just transferred. I see something in him, so we're gonna be milking the franchise. Yeah, we're gonna be milking the franchise yet again, and we're gonna try to make this happen. And he's gonna be the new. It wasn't even that. Like, it's like we went on all of that journey, the disrespect, and we didn't even have a good reason. It was terrible though. Like it wasn't. They should have just left it alone. I'm just gonna do what I always do and stick to that first one and that second one. And on a good day, I can do me some Season of the Witch, and that's about it.
Same here. Like you, Tyra, I'm a fan of the franchise, but I'm very aware that half of the movies aren't that great. Got to call it what it is. But Michael's my guy. 78 Halloween is my favorite of all time horror film, and I actually really enjoyed 2018 Halloween a lot. Halloween Kills. It was good beginning, ended kind of weak for me, especially Evil Dies Tonight. But Tyra, man, this film here was just something else. But again, we're here to talk about Atlanta. Check out Tyra's reviews, her channel has her current review on her channel for Halloween Ends, so check it out. And of course, you can check out my thoughts on it. But I just wanted to because I know you're a horror fan like I am. I just wanted to just briefly, very, very disappointed. But one thing I was not disappointed about, Tyra, was this episode, Crank That Killer. Before we break it all down, Tyra, just your initial thoughts. And is it me, or is this season just shaping up to being like a season 1, season 2 callback nostalgia, callbacks to references to people at the bar, references to Justin Bieber's that we'll talk about on the Twitter feed. Barbara Streisand. I mean, there's so much. What was your initial thoughts after watching this episode?
Man, watching this, like as soon as it started, even opening with the intro for my Atlanta video, I was like, I love that we had, the first episode be named, oh, this is the most Atlanta. This episode right here was the most Atlanta, period. It felt like we stepped back into season 1. It just felt so like, it's so weird because it's like all the episodes have just been good, but they're just getting better and better and better. This one felt like a return. Like we didn't leave, but it just felt like we went back somewhere. And I was like, wow. To pull me back into where I'm scared for Al's life. I was like, all right, it's officially Robin season. He's on the run. Like I was really, really scared for Ern and just that creep factor. Like I thought we felt, some creepiness, with the whole you want a grit. I thought we felt some creepiness with the grit. Here, like I was really scared for Al because we keep getting this ominous thing every season of something chasing him and he's running. Someone's always trying to take him out. And it's just like, why? And it's like, if we are relying on, enemies that he might have made in the past, seasons, like it could be anybody. It could be anybody. Like between that and the opportunists in the episode, like this episode was so good and so funny. Like, I don't want this show to go. Like they need to come back and just do it for the people. Like just give us one more season, like please, because like it's incredible what they were able to do with this episode, and once again what they are able to squeeze into a mere 20 minutes with commercials.
It's bananas, Tyra. How well woven the story and the characters and. It's just so many layers to this show that I absolutely love. And I think someone mentioned in the comments, it was already top 10 in my list. Andrew, he said it's officially in his top. It's been my top 10 since season 2. It's one of my favorite shows ever. And I'm one of those ones that actually stands behind season 3, the creativity and all the craziness going on there. But yeah, this show is just hitting on another level. And like you said, Tyra, sitting back, first off, I thought of you when we first opened up, and we'll just kind of dive into it now. When we open up the show, we're in Al's house, and I remember a couple weeks ago you mentioned like being in Van's house and just seeing what they do when they're not trying to run for their lives. So just the fact that we're in his house, and first thing I thought of was like, man, this is a big ass house for one. Yes. Well, I assume Darius lives with him too, probably, or if not, but. It's a lot of house for one person. And the more I rewatch this episode, the more I feel bad for Al. Like he feels so lonely. And just kind of by himself, minus obviously Ern and Darius. But it seems like their relationship has kind of grown further and further apart, so at least since they've came back from Europe. But again, Sarah, looking in his crib, and he says right off the bat, talking about cable, why he's not cutting off this and that and third. I'm rich. It's like, hey man, he's come a long way from these days, Sarah. He's came a long way from these days. But just your thoughts, Sarah, just kind of open up the episode with them and his crib and not cutting off cable and CNN. He has to stay up with the news. Your thoughts on this opening?
First, I was like, ooh, look at that open, modernized staircase. Look at those wide windows. Like, this is where the money is being spent. Look at Al's house. I was so excited to see them living and just to get all 3 of them together in a home. Like, it just shows, where they, like you showed that apartment to where they are. But I was like, wow, we are officially school. I was like, Al is realizing, like, I'm old school. When he picked up that remote, ESPN, like, oh, hell, it's a regular remote.
regular
remote. But I love how the show, puts a mirror up to our face. And it's just like, what are you, 80? You still watching? Like, I noticed, of course, as we've gotten older and the streaming has come into fruition, all of the, social media, I rarely watch the news for any news anymore. It's like we got Shade Room, we have Lipstick Alley, we have all of these other TMZ and Black Twitter. What are you watching the news for? I was like, that's crazy. I can't remember the last time I watched the news or watched an infomercial or just regular like cable television. So that was crazy. I'm like, yeah, we are getting old, Al. And it's just like, I love here that he can't even grasp the concept of going off the grid. Like, I'm rich. Why would I want to just drop all of this to go and live amongst nothing? But towards the end of the episode, it's like, okay, yeah, I could definitely, like a good Nick State Farm. I could definitely get into just completely leaving all of this behind if this is what I have to deal with on a daily basis.
The news piece. Yeah, I haven't watched the news tower in probably forever, just because and this is my personal opinion, not to make it political or anything, but it's just the same cycle. It's just the
Yeah.
same narrative and showing just one side of a story. It's just, I don't know. I can't, like I get my news comes from social media, which I don't know, is that
Yeah.
a good thing or a bad thing? But
It's
speaking
give
of
and
good,
take.
it's a give or take, right? Because obviously social media can create its own narrative and it just kind of depends on which way you want to take it. But you mentioned something about one of the social media outlets that Earn has said, which you can get information from. I've never heard of this, which is Lipstick
Oh
Alley.
yeah.
This is my first time. I was that day, whenever I watched the episode, I was that day years old when I found out about it. So it's essentially it seems like you're familiar with it, Tyra.
Yeah, I don't really go
Yeah.
like maybe way back when, when I actually like cared about
Yeah.
certain news. I haven't went
Yeah.
on Lipstick Alley in a minute, but they do, they do
It's just
supply a
gossip,
whole
right? It's
lot.
pretty
Yeah,
much gossip.
it's mostly gossip, and I just don't care
Which
enough about anybody's celebrity business to follow them. But I have been on a Lipstick Alley in a shade room once upon a
Shade
time.
Room for sure. Yeah.
Oh
Shade
yeah,
Room.
yeah,
World Star. I still follow them just every now and then. Want to get a little gossip, But I mean, right now, Tyra, we got top five. I mean, Kanye. Listen, Kanye. Well, I don't even know what they call him. Kanye. He's Ye, right? That's
yeah.
not even his name anymore. I mean, he's been off the rails. That's a whole conversation for another day. We got Academy second annual gala situation. I mean, this is all interesting news, if you ask me. And even this Super Mario, John Lozano slams all white. Listen, I might have to be a subscriber, Tyra. I might have to check out more of this lipstick stuff. But as they're having this conversation, we find out, speaking of Michael, there's a killer on the list, Tyra, and again, they go by the Crank That Killer. So the first question I have for you and everyone in the chat, Tyra, where can we find your Crank That video? Is this somewhere on the interwebs? Is it somewhere that we can find Tyra hitting that Souja Boy and doing that to him? Is it out there somewhere?
Nowhere.
No? Okay.
Like I guess people don't remember. Like I was trying to connect with how old. I was like, well, Al is, a certain age, but social media and posting and all those other good things, those things were non-existent then. So if you made something, it might have been just, on your phone, but not enough for you to maybe go and post it on YouTube to get, 25 views and 6 likes. Like that wasn't a thing then, but just the fact that there's something as crazy as a Crank That Killer on the loose. If you made a Crank That Shake That Laffy Taffy video, I'm coming to take you out. Crazy.
Coming for you, which I don't know if, and again, they come up with the craziest stuff. Do you know of anything of this that was remotely similar to this that you can think of someone chasing, killing people for dancing?
I have no, like, I was thinking, because, as soon as it's just too much to piece together, but I'm like, it's been, I don't know anything about anything like this, of like a viral dance. People are chasing down somebody who created videos for a viral dance. I have no clue. If there is somebody, I would love to know who it was.
Yeah, same here. And I heard you just mention This Is America. Is that the same pose that he did in that video?
You didn't mention the pose, Tyra. Didn't you see? They're like, oh my gosh, y'all want us to get every nick and cranny of every video. I'm like, I'll put the the bop on my Instagram, y'all. I'll just
I see. It could just be coincidental. I mean, that is a very he didn't create that pose. So, but it might be a callback, especially since they're talking about the news and America and all that. Hey, there might be some there, Tyra. Of course, we can nitpick and find every little nick and cranny with this show, because it's just like some of the theories, though, and I'm guilty of it too. It's a bit of a stretch sometimes, but that's the beauty of this show. But again, the beauty of this show is just how funny and obscure and just hilarious they go with seeing our boy Al. First off, going back to 2007, 2008, the wardrobe, Tyra. Come on now. The white tees all the way up to your knees, the caps. This just threw me back to those days. And to answer my own question, I didn't make a Crank That video, but you best believe your boy was on the dance floor during homecoming and prom, hitting that Crank That Souja Boy. So yeah, this is definitely a throwback to me. But as you mentioned, Tyra, Crank That Jimmy Neutron with Al and his homeboy Jay Berg, who fell out or might not be alive, or might have put the hit on our boy Al a little bit later in the episode. But he's upset. He's not upset. He's a little bit nervous because he does have a video out there. And I love how Darius is like, first off, I don't approve of this. But it only got 25, as you mentioned, 25 something views. And my boy Ern is just like, yeah, this ain't good. This is not a good look, which I'm so surprised going back to season 1, Tyra. I'm surprised that character Van, or what was his name, Van, or the guy that was poking fun of him, the Twitter troll. I'm surprised he didn't dig this video up and embarrass Al during that time. But as we go on through this episode, he's going to try to have him remove this off the internet for he can just go ahead and live his life. But again, Tyra, I'm just curious. Did you, like me, did you search Al's YouTube channel?
I did.
Were you able? Yeah. There's like 1,000 Alfred Miles out there. So there's, it wasn't anything.
I did. Because, as far as Atlanta could go, I wouldn't put it past them to, put it out there to make it a whole, like, that would have been a whole viral video at this moment if it was actually there. I did. I am guilty of searching for it and just searching for the nostalgia within this episode. Yeah. Like, it just took me back to a basic time when the dance was just a two-step. It wasn't no TikTok where you had to learn whole choreography and figure out a dance. You had your white tee on and you just snapped back and forth. It was very, very simple.
Simplicity. Yes. And speaking of callbacks, I did, again, we were just talking about like theories and Easter eggs. I don't know if y'all peeped on the side of the YouTube, the little picture there of, I think his name was not Alfred, but Ahmed White, I think his name, the Nutella sandwich dude from season 1, who had his little infomercial on the band episode. So you can see a little picture of him earlier, and it's a little blurry, but under him, a couple notches down, is the actual host of that show, Band. Which I just love all the callbacks. If we can get the Nutella guy back this season, Tyra, icing on the cake. Icing on the cake. If we can get him back, dropping some knowledge or talking to Darius or Ern or so, I would love if we can get him back some way, somehow. But the Easter eggs, man, I love it. I love the callbacks.
I did not see that.
I love it. But moving on, the whole establishment is let's try to get this video out and let's try to keep our boy from getting killed in this episode, which we will get into. But listen, we're studio time, Tyra. I need to know now. Yodel Kid, Rick Moranis, and who else? There was another rapper. I can't think of the white boy's name, but out of those 3, are you signing them or are you straight up signing some dude named Doug? Because I mean, come on, Tyra, the beats on what he delivered. I mean, that's Dr. Dre level, if you ask me.
I'm signing some dude named Doug.
Fire.
The motivation, like, he was relentless. He reminded me of the Terminator chick in the chair from episode 1. Like, I just need a feature. I just need you to feature. Like, he was just so motivated. I didn't see none of that in Yodel Kid. He didn't have a drug problem. He just desperately wanted a feature, and he just couldn't rap or make a beat to save his life. And ain't nothing wrong with that.
And some people too, I guess, are saying he's a kind of a callback to Chance the Rapper, kind of his the way his approach. And I think it's not like any shade at Chance, because apparently Childish Gambino or Donald Glover and him are really good friends. But yeah, Doug was he wasn't coming with the right fire or swag. Tyra, the beats my man was bringing was pretty garbage stuff there. But was it me, Tyra, when my boy Al poured his Hennessy on that switchboard? That was a little bit too extreme for me. I understand you don't want to work with this individual, but was that a little bit too far? I don't know. It got to me. Tyra. My man threw his Hennessy on the producer board just to avoid him. It's kind of crazy.
Way too far. Not even just pouring the Hennessy, but the audacity to go, I know I poured the Hennessy and destroyed this expensive studio equipment, but yeah, we responsible for that, right? We ain't got, I know I ain't gonna pay for it. It's not coming out of my pocket. But it's just that running theme of Al kind of creating enemies when he doesn't have to, because he could have simply just said, no, I don't want to work with you. No, no, thank you. But he would have to go out of his way and do this whole facade just to avoid a kid named Doug.
Oh man. And it goes back to the beginning of this episode. This man is rich. He can do these type of things now. And he's at such a different point in his life now where he can make tracks in 15 minutes. He can destroy equipment without repercussions or worrying about how much it's going to cost to do this, to do that. It's almost, again, I'm very curious to see where we end up with Al in this season. Some people mentioned that, hey, you better watch out for Roberto. He might have a lawsuit coming after what he did. But it is just so fascinating to see Al, again, going back to just the season 1 days, the man in his house with his long colored, checkered shirt, and Darius in the back there making cookies, to them in the studio destroying stuff. It's crazy. Time flies. But as we get into it, Tyra, we're now at the point where Al's in his car and he's still a little bit worried. He's looking on the website. He sees a little skull alluding to death. Do we think that was actually the Crank That Killer that sent that message, or was it someone else entirely? Was it Roberto? Was it Jay Bird? What did you think about that particular scene of him in his car getting a little death threat?
No, with that video being precisely at 27 views and 6 likes, I doubt any of those people were searching Al out or anything. I thought that it was the Crank That Killer for sure.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I'm very curious if Jay Berg, and I'm just randomly, Tyra, what do you think the beef was back in the day? Because he said some dude in high school had beef with him. You think it was some girl involved, some other activities involved? What could possibly be this beef that he was referring to?
I just don't know. Like, that whole conversation had me thinking about Al and Earn, that whole episode where he wore, the FUBU. Oh, yeah. And he was, defending him, or just Al being kind of that dude around school enough to, protect Earn in that moment. So who knows what he would have done. Like, I felt like he had a little bit more swag, popularity. Like, who freaking knows? But I'm like, with this being Atlanta, I just feel like they're going to leave it up in the air and not give us any answers and just allow us to think about, what do you think he did? Like, I want you to tell us what he did. I'm so curious.
Right. So many moments. And to this comment here, I wouldn't be surprised if Atlanta had a movie in the future. I would love to see a coming of age film with Lottie in the universe. I never watched, what's the name of that damn show that Donald Glover was a part of? Community, I think is the name of it. Mm-hmm. And I know a couple weeks ago they announced that they're making a movie of that, and I don't know if he's attached to it or not. But that's just an example of a popular show, or at least popular during that time for that demographic, to come out with a movie. Would you be down for an Atlanta movie?
No, I don't want an Atlanta movie. Like, I think once this season ends, like, with how smart the writing is, like, it's almost perfection. I feel like going back would maybe ruin something. I think it's going to end on a really good note and should be left alone.
I agree. If anything, maybe a 1 hour special, maybe. Mm-hmm. Just like catch up, catch up, type of thing. Yeah. Would you want one of those Martin or Fresh Prince 20 years from now, but maybe 10 years from now? Would you like a reunion show to see where they're at?
Definitely. Like, with how their careers have grown in general from, the time that the series started to now, like, all of the cast, I would love for them to, catch up, to just go like, this is kind of where it started, where I kind of found my footing. And now, I'm a big star, or bigger, because everybody's blowing up at this point.
I agree. And they've been doing their thing and taking their careers to the next level. But Tyra, a question I have for you again, this might be a bit of a stretch, but this dude here, by the name of Roberto, with his wife or his girl, and they have a young daughter. Did you get shades of a this is like another version of Earn? Whether it was the look of the backpack, he had the headphones, a very Earn-like, a description of his style and swag. Mm-hmm. Whether it is having a girlfriend and a baby mama, whether it is having a job that he didn't like, as Earn did in season 1 at the airport. Any similarities that you can see of a Earn 2.0? We know there was a white Earn out there in season 3 that took his own life. So now we got another version of Earn out there. What do you think about this Roberto character? Is it a one-off, or do you think we'll get another storyline with him later down the road?
I think it's definitely a one-off, but like, now that you point stuff out, similarities, I'm like, oh man, that was a little Lottie in the backseat.
Yeah, that was.
Just that, even though Earn had a completely different agenda and he wants to be more on the management side, just that desperation to, like, just chill. I have a vision. Like, I don't want to get too serious or get a real job. I want to be a rapper. Just that determination to be something else, and looking at Al as his opportunity. Like, man, who said that? Like, now you got my mind thinking about stuff, because that was Earn, the first season, like, pushing up on Al, like, I want to do this, and Al might be my window to that. Exactly. And very much here, he's the same way, thinking Paperboy is the ultimate, like, I this is my moment, I have to get to him. This could be my window into show business, and my opportunity to become a real rapper. I just need him to hear me. Same desperation that we got from Earn first season. Like, where you get that from, Elliot? Like,
and this is where my mind, like, this is where my like, looking into everything to the 10th degree, and even though it's probably nothing. So if I can't play the scene back to back, but follow with me, guys. The scene that me and Ty were just talking about, from going from seeing this comment in his in the YouTube channel, which wasn't his channel, his friend's channel. Literally, no joke, Tyler, the very next scene when we transition and come back from commercial was, and I don't know, and again, this might be a stretch, but when we first go into this scene with Roberto, the first thing they show us is a skull or a skull, which is a similar skull to what we got in his YouTube comments here. And that's why I'm like, man, is Roberto gonna end up like a Stan, where he's gonna come back for Al because he disrespected him, he didn't give him a time of day, and he's gonna maybe be the one responsible for taking Paper Boy out time? Is it a little bit of a stretch? Is it a little bit of a stretch?
I mean, not here. I didn't get, those connecting the dots to him being, so similar to Earn, but I did get just everybody constantly clamoring at Al as Paper Boy for an opportunity. There's always somebody around him feeling like, you owe me this. Like, if you could have just done this, I could have been that. Like, he's always creating different scenarios to where somebody's feeling resentment because you didn't, do this. Meanwhile, it's gunfire and I'm trying to save my own life. Like, it's just crazy. But there's always somebody feeling like, oh, he deserves some payback because you didn't do X, Y, and Z for me when you could have done it and you're just Paper Boy.
Yep.
It's crazy.
Speaking of crazy, Tyra, now we're about to have some fun, y'all. We get the theories, we got more theories a little bit later, but let's have some laughs. Tyra, listen, my man got some shoes, Tyra. And he's the shoe man, Darius. This is the man. You want some shoes? This is your go-to guy. So our boy Earn and Darius, and expect the craziness when you get Darius. Don't. It's not going to be a smooth transaction. Something crazy is going to happen. He's got the miracles. He got the Nike miracles and the size they're looking for. But Tyra, the only catch is he don't want your money. He just want to see y'all kiss. Tyra, when first I was already locked into the episode, having a good time, on the edge of my seat, like, what's going on with this Crank That Killer? When that man says, I just want to see y'all kiss, and shout out to this actor, by the way, who I've seen in a couple other projects, and Terrence, I got his name off top, but great actor, very good comedic chops. When he said that, Tyra, oh my goodness, that just caught me off guard. And of course, Darius was like, oh yeah, I'm game. Let's go ahead and get this over with. Let's get these shoes. Wham, bam. Thank you, ma'am. And Earn with his morals and moral compass and priority. No, I don't want to do that. Tyra, walk me through this scene here. Was this just not classic Atlanta? Just throwing you off to the umpteenth degree?
Man, like, I froze. I was like, we already have so much going on in this episode. Then y'all throw in a kiss for some shoes. Like, I thought this was going to be a callback to, that first season, just them being on a journey together, old Al and Earn, but we throw in a kiss? What? Why? Why? Like, there were so many layers and different scenarios and reasons and probable things just based off of this man not wanting any money and wanting them to kiss and kind of finding pleasure and joy and just looking at it like that was so crazy. Like, my mind just went off into so many scenarios way outside of this show and just the entertainment. I was like, we're getting back, even though this is, about Al and this Crank That Killer, we're bringing it back into the entertainment industry as to, what are you willing to do for, to gain something. I was out of there, Elliot. Like, I was so surprised. And then I was just lingering at the fact, like, so are we going to actually have them kiss? Are we going to show it? Is it going to be a cutaway? Like, then I was like, you know what? This is Atlanta. I feel like we're going to get the actual kiss. And we did. And we did,
Sarah. We did, which, and just to go back to what you just said, and just, so I guess, and just as you just alluded to, that whole thing, the think piece, if we want to think a little bit deeper, the scene is just like what people are willing to do to get, materialistic things, shoes, cars, phones, whatever, you name it. And Darius, which I guess, I always thought Darius, he's off the radar left field guy, but I never thought that he would, willing to do that, which again, at the end of the day,
that was crazy. I was like, I don't see Darius being this desperate for a pair of shoes, but I'm like, I feel like the show is trying to make a statement. And right now we need to separate the two, like the characteristics that we know of Darius and just think about just the circumstances, because this is definitely not like, if you want us to kiss, like, all right, well, fine. Like, I'm getting out the van, but Darius was so down and gung-ho for it immediately.
Which I'm trying to look it up now, because someone had mentioned in my comments, they thought that was maybe a little social commentary on Lakeith Stanfield. I can't remember when it was on his Instagram.
The magazine,
With
the
the
Instagram, the
it was
magazine cover
it
where
was,
he it's not even just that. He has multiple pictures, or he's very expressive as far as fashion, his
yeah.
hair, all of those good things. And I remember those pictures that came out in the magazine,
Tore
so
him
where
up.
people were like questioning, like, oh, you too, brother, like they
Yeah.
got you too. And I thought this episode was just trying to talk about the spectrum of what's considered, oh, this is, they're placing black men in, these certain predicaments, or, playing
Yeah.
around with their sexuality. And not even just that, but just to go like, just because I may play a certain role, or I may wear a certain thing, that doesn't mean I'm automatically, gay, or I'm a feminine man. This is just, this is just work, or, this is just, a picture.
Right.
But it was so many things to be said about that. Like I was thinking about, like I went back for a second and watched the old interview with Oprah and Dave Chappelle, and they wanted me to put on the dress. Like I went all the way down the rabbit hole of so many things that I was thinking about that could have been insinuated just by that entire situation. Because I know it just hasn't been him. I know there's been situations where Earn, or the real life character, he's wore certain things, and everybody kind of gives this certain eye, and it's just like we place so many different values on man, and just in general, just based off of what's masculine and what's not. And I thought that scene said a whole lot, and I was tired. I was tired. Like, how dare y'all make me work this hard and think this much in one episode?
Yeah. Oh, Casey. Yeah. Casey, JoJo. Yeah. We'll get to that here. And yes, Will said, Tyra, I couldn't agree with you more. I think that I should have looked up the year. I think the timestamp was around the same time that they did this season when those photos came out. So I think you're definitely on the money there as far as just kind of the social commentary of, especially in the black community, because we see white men all the time expressing Mick Jagger back in the day. I mean, there's so many different white males that very expressive in the way they carry themselves, what they wore, what they said. And this even dates back to when I was a kid, being a sports fan, Dennis Rodman, right? When he used to dress in wedding dresses and all that stuff. And thank you, Prince. So I mean, this isn't anything new for the culture, but it does seem like whenever there's a black male involved, it seems to be, here's Hollywood tearing another black man down and showing, an agenda and all that different stuff. But I think
Elliot, you got to think about them shoes. Like I thought like they were trying to play on that, but then I was like, I know we do have a tendency to watch these things, but it's like we've seen it so repeatedly that, when a black man is, defeminized a bit or placed in a certain role, their career, grows overnight all of a sudden. So it's just like, once again, somebody may be sacrificing who they may be, who they are, maybe a couple little morals for, a role or an opportunity, or, a budget, or just whatever it may be. And I thought about that with what Darius was willing to do just to get those shoes. And not just that, just, Jordans or Nikes, the standing in line, the high cost, the limited edition, the fights that break out when the shoes are gone, all of this for some shoes. And then you have earned. I was thinking, and I hated that I didn't mention it in my review, like I forgot all about Ern's therapy and, the assault and everything, and somebody forcing him to do something sexual against his will. And now we have you, sitting here with your friend, somebody wanting you to do, even though it's just a kiss, but it's still something sexual to gain something. I just felt like that maybe added an extra layer as to why he was bothered.
Well said. Well said. I even think, and I don't watch the show, but I think you cover P-Valley. I don't know the actor's name, but I know that even him. I know he's a straight male. Yeah, I know he's a straight male, and I know he had quite a few sexual scenes, and I know people had their thoughts on that. So again, I know I'm reading the comments here, and again, shout out to everyone, 103 people watching us live. Thumbs up, share, leave the great comments. And I'm trying to read as many as I can, but even people saying, as a gay man, I thought that there was nothing to kiss. The one act does not or should not define someone's sexuality, which I definitely agree with that. Especially, I mean, even Darius says, I know you're not gay, man. We're just shoes. And I love it. Darius just like, you want to see him again? Or
what about the driver? Like, even though it was played for laughs, but it was just like, not like, okay, we're gonna do a little. It's like, no, I need 60 seconds.
Kissing your grandma. I need eight. How long you want to get? I don't know, 8 minutes. 8 minutes. A whole
the all my life. Like, you setting the mood. Like, what are you trying to insinuate? What are you doing, Casey and JoJo? Like, what's up?
Man, that had me dying laughing. And I'm just curious on Shoe Man, like what those two girls had to do to get their shoes. What's the next customers? What is his list? What is his criteria to get some shoes from this man? You can only imagine, Tyra. You can only
Materialistic,
imagine.
all of this just to say I have a pair of shoes that somebody else doesn't have,
Mm-hmm.
that Darius and Ern are probably going to wear 3 times,
Once,
and
right?
you're never going to see him again.
Which and again, we're gonna move on here, but it's so many layers to that scene, I think, because it even speaks to just from a social media standpoint, right? What people are willing to do for likes and shares.
Yeah.
And I get a good laugh at it, but I saw a video the other day of just, the prank videos. Some of the prank stuff is just too much for me, and some of it's obviously staged, but it's just like just the fact that people are willing to go to these certain lengths to get those likes, to get those shares, and putting themselves in harm's way just for that stuff. And again, obviously two different topics, but it just brings my mind to just what people willing to put their morals, who they are aside, and all that stuff
Trying to go viral.
just to go viral.
Little
It's
boy in the
crazy.
mall trying to take a picture with Pops in his hat. Just extra.
Yes, extra. But speaking of extra, again, I'm being extra here, but I love the Easter egg, Tyra, and so going back to our boy Al at this point in the episode, he's at the crib, chilling, trying to get his mind off things, and he's on his Twitter.
Yeah.
And the first little thing we see here is 9 famous people who you didn't know were bisexual, which I don't know if that happens to be a coincidence that this is the next scene before the kiss. But y'all might remember the guy. Let me zoom in a little bit there. That's Black Justin Bieber, y'all. The one and only J Beebs, who we haven't, again, going back to season 1, we haven't seen this dude since season 1. So Tyra, again, and then also too, if we scroll down just a little bit, mermaids are white, which obviously this show obviously has a pulse on the zeitgeist. Obviously, this wasn't written during when the trailer of The Little Mermaid came out, but when they announced Haley Bailey in 2019. They were writing this show during the same time, and obviously that sparked a whole debate there, which obviously we know is a whole conversation with itself. And the reasons that people make that mermaids can't be black is just pretty crazy, if you ask me, Tyra. But again, just your thoughts on these little Easter eggs and little nuggets, and do you think any of these, whether it's we talked about Ahmed White or my man from the band show, or even Justin Bieber, do you think there's a possibility of seeing any of these characters before we wrap this show up?
I don't think we're gonna see them. I think there's just kind of just like remember when we did
just
this
a little
thing,
nod.
and just how on the nose this show constantly is, and it's scary at this point. Like, how did y'all? It just feels like they go back, like, let's edit that into the episode right now, when we know that that's not the case. But even with the Black Justin Bieber, I believe the actor that plays the Black Justin Bieber, he is actually one of the young up and coming gay actors. He's openly gay. Yep. I thought that was a factor, leading up to the kids, or even just him being the Black Justin Bieber. I remember like a few years back, Justin Bieber got caught, kissing some man, and he had to come out and explain himself and go,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's just like, I'm not gay. Yeah, so I felt like they were trying to ease us up into, the scene that we got to drop a couple of Easter eggs as far as just the whole scenario before they actually kissed.
Gotcha. I didn't even. That's this Tyra. This is why you're here. And shout out to this is the guy that you were referring to. Yeah, he is openly gay. I've seen him not only in obviously this show, but he was in the show I loved on Netflix. I can't think of the name of it. Did you watch Daybreakers?
Yes, I was mad when it got canceled.
That show was so fire, and Netflix canceled that damn. It was a zombie-ish type of apocalyptic show, YA show that it was just so much fun. But he was in that, and I think he was in that new. I didn't see the Them slasher film.
Yeah, I didn't
get a chance to see that, but shout out to him, man. And who knows? Maybe we'll get J Beebs back before we wrap up the season. But speaking of coming back, we got someone in the back room that's going to be joining us here in a second. So excited to get his thoughts, catch up with him, see what he thought about this episode. Talk about my man B. Avery from Just My Opinion Reviews. What's going on, B?
Hello. What's going on?
And the crowd goes wild.
How y'all doing?
What's up, B?
We're doing good, man. But we got a question before we get into it, B. Where can we find your Crank That video, bro? Where is that at? Is it in the link in the bio?
Yeah, it's on the channel. It's on the channel. Yeah, check it out. Subscribe. Check it out. Got some other stuff too.
No doubt, Brandon. It's always great to see you, my man. We're about at the halfway point of this episode, and definitely can't wait to hear your thoughts on it, man. Before we get you into the conversation, why don't you introduce yourself or reintroduce yourself? And of course, people know who you are, but just let them know where they can find your awesome content.
Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. Just in case you don't know, I'm B. Avery, Brandon Keith Avery with Just My Opinion Reviews. Got my social media handle on screen if you want to follow me, and I'm sure Elliot does have some links in the description. But where will those links lead you? It will lead you to my website. It will lead you to my channel. It will lead you to any place online to where you can get the opinion of me on the recent movies that's in theaters, whether it's on streaming, whether it's a TV show, film, The Curse of Bridge Hollow that's on Netflix, or whatever. I may have a review, a recap, or reaction. So movie reviews, TV recaps, trailer reactions, interviews, live shows. I'm just geeking out over here talking about what I'm passionate about in the entertainment world. And so follow me if you dare, but I'm sure you'll have a good time.
Yes, sir. And we talked about it a little bit earlier in the episode. I think we're all on the same page with Halloween Ends, which I know you have a video for that. And I love the thumbnail, by the way. It perfectly encapsulates how I felt about that film, man.
Yes.
Ooh-wee. But B, man, like I said, just kind of catching up to where we are. We just talked about a little bit about the kissing. Well, before we get to the kissing scene, someone, and shout out to Tyree, and I didn't even think about it. He does have some shades of Aries Spears, which would have been funny if they were able to get him into the episode, especially with the stuff he got going on right now. That would have been almost too coincidental if he would have been in this episode. But
yeah,
where we are at this point, Brandon, materialistic things. And I saw your review on it. I know you said that you obviously morals come first. You're not going to put any, putting things in the way before materialistic things. But just kind of your thoughts on that scene before we kind of get back into Al's story. Just your thoughts on Darius and Ern.
I shouldn't be surprised that they would throw something like this in the show. However, I didn't really care for it. I thought it was kind of weird. We're talking about the kissing scene for the shoes, correct?
Yeah, just that whole scenario of those two. And we even brought up the Lakeith Stanfield, how he had his photos out there, and that caused a bit of a controversy. But
it's just weird, for one. Darius is Darius, but at the same time, he's just down for anything. That's interesting. I love Ern's reaction, and initially he's like, "What the hell? I'm not doing this," and it just, he reacted the exact same way I would. And then it's also just like the driver, the salesman that does remind us as Aries Spears, Mr. Shoeman. It's just weird that you're wanting to make people or force people to do things that they don't want to do, just so they can get a product. People don't mind paying cash for something. That's an even trade, but I want to see you do something sexual and kiss for 8 minutes. Couples don't even kiss for 8 minutes.
Regular people don't kiss for 8 minutes.
Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't even think I did that as a teenager when I learned how to French kiss. 8 minutes? That is a long time. So I know it's silly and over the top, but at the same time, it was just random.
This comment's funny.
Yeah, I didn't know. Is the plug? Why I wish. Man, I wish that would be nice. Yes, you do, Maxine. Yes, you do. We're gonna talk about that in a second. But yeah, it was weird. It didn't piss me off, but I didn't like it either. I think I said in my video, maybe $1 million.
$1 million?
Just a little. $1 million. That's life changing right there. You can get a house and then still have a ton more to invest and grow. You know what I'm saying?
More Nike miracles, yeah.
Yeah, you can set up. Look, I'll give me some Converse and be happy and keep it moving. So, it was just kind of to me.
That's the entertainment industry. We don't want money. We want you to sacrifice, yourself. You need to kiss with these shoes.
Right. Which, man, crazy. But we gotta bring it over to the star, y'all. We got an actual star who, man, if it wasn't for him, I don't even know if we'll be streaming right now, Tyra and Brandon. As far as social media, mobile, hip hop superstar, Hall of Fame, Draco himself, y'all, made an appearance. I'm obviously exaggerating. I don't think he's responsible for the internet, but if you ask him, he definitely is responsible for it. And I'm talking about the one and only Souja Boy, Tyra, as he is getting his house all geared up. Probably getting ready to shoot the next season of Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, because I know he was included in one of those seasons. But now he's running from the Crank That Killer, because if someone's going to be killed, he's going to be obviously numero. But he's getting things geared up, and he's put this on a t-shirt, Tyra and Brandon. I need this on a t-shirt. Safe house. I could say Listen, the quotes, the jokes are always hidden. But Tyra, what did you think of Draco's first time on? I think this is his first performance besides Love and Hip Hop. But what did you think of Draco's role in this episode?
I loved it. I wish that they wouldn't have put him in the trailer because, you know, sometimes it's like, oh, it's Souja Boy, Souja Man on the phone. And it could have been a completely different person. But I think we would have been shocked, like, oh, it's actually Souja Boy. This is not a D'Angelo situation. But I loved his little cameo here. Like, he's the first rapper to ever be on Atlanta. You know, he's not.
Right.
But just his, you know, whole thing with being the first and how people kind of side-eye him. And, you know, he's the meme. He's funny. He's the first in the whole Drake Breakfast Club situation. But it's like, when Souja Boy was outside, he was outside, and he really did, you know, make that wave as far as using media to promote the music. Yeah. You know, he didn't create the internet and the whole YouTube situation, but he was like one of the first, and he was a big part of that. So I like this episode, you know, giving him his props, or even just the whole Crank That. He's Mr. Crank That. Like that's you know, his whole wave. Just, you know, packing up, and I loved everything. Just the whole callback. Like, give people their flowers. Souja Boy deserved a few flowers. He was the first to do a whole lot of stuff. Pay him some homage.
I mean, you said it right, Tyra. I mean, we joke and poke fun of him, but I mean, I guess it's just the way you don't think of Souja. You don't take him seriously because it's just like, come on, Drake. Listen, but Brandon, before we get your thoughts, Brandon, just a quick trivia, and actually to you too, Tyra. I'm gonna have Brandon go first. Can you name, Brandon, who was the first rapper to appear on Atlanta?
I have no clue.
Just throw out a random.
Right?
Do you think that's who it is, Tyra?
Isn't it the Migos? That's
I mean, if we're technically being honest, it was Donald Glover, right? He's a rapper, right? But Tyra, you hit the nail on the head. Outside of him, it was Migos. They were the first rappers to appear on Atlanta, and during that time, they're still one of the biggest, you know, hip hop artists. They were super, But it was Migos. But I wonder if anyone in the chat if they caught on to that. But yeah, Big Draco, he's in the episode. Brandon, your thoughts on his performance and him being included in this episode?
Mr. Souja Boy here.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I honestly didn't even recognize him at first. I was like, is that Souja Boy? I just wasn't sure, you know. Then it was
a long way from that to this.
Yeah, because that's what I remember, you know, him, you know, just an animated character doing this thing, not hating on him, but you know, it was you know, confirmed at the end. I can't wait to see the credits to see if that was really him or not. I thought it was just a stand-in because Al was calling him Souja Man instead of Souja Boy. But yeah, it was nice seeing him because I haven't seen Souja Boy in so long. Y'all are talking about the first. I mean, we all remember it like it was yesterday. His video on YouTube has over 500 million views. That is not 5 million, 500 million. And so that's just kind of phenomenal right there. But it was nice. It was nice seeing that, since I haven't seen Souja Boy in so long. I mean, this is just a TV show, but it appears that he still has, you know, some money under his belt, you know, some forms of wealth, you know. And so I mean, I just, that's nice because a lot of people, you know, they can waste it or throw it away after a number of years, and you know, so that was a standout to me. But he was convinced that he was gonna die.
Music,
you know. So, yeah, I like the scene though.
I agree. I'm not a big. I don't listen to a lot of his music because I'll be honest with you. You know, obviously, all subjective. I think his music's not that great. It's almost very some dude named Doug type quality sometimes. But anyway, he is, like Tyra said, he does. I've seen him on social media every now and then, and as Tyra brought up earlier, this was a meme that went viral a couple years ago. The whole Drake on the Breakfast Club. But I know he made like a video game, if I'm not mistaken, a year or two ago, and I think they mentioned it in this episode.
In a whole lot of stuff, like the fact that he's been able to, even though his music, you know, didn't flourish, or kind of, because, you know, the white tees and the whole thing went out of style, but he's been able to sustain a career for a minute now, you know. So I think that's something to be proud of. Even if you don't listen to his music, a lot of his little, you know, tunes and stuff, they trend on TikTok. Like, he's still making money, so that's good.
Look, 7 million, you know, followers on social media. Yeah, he's still got a presence, man. I think he just had his first kid not too long ago. So
Souja Boy is a father. We're like,
generation. No, the world's ending, y'all. Listen, man. Get it in while you can. This world is no, but Souja Boy. He made it, and I thought Tyra, like you said, I thought it was gonna be another like what's the man's name? D'Angelo situation and be like a completely different rapper. It might even be like a white rapper or something. But no, it was actually Draco. He took the time to grace us with his presence on this episode. But Brandon, a question I have for you, man. We talked about Halloween earlier, and in this episode having a very scary, on the edge of your seat vibe. We all can admit there was someone upstairs, right, Brandon? When Paperboy's at home and he heard something
Yeah.
some ruffling around out there. There was
Yeah,
someone upstairs, right?
I like the way he responded too, because he
Get the
heard
hell
it
out of
and he looked and he's like, nope. He
Nope.
didn't just like, let me get my flashlight and go up there. He's like, no, I'm gonna leave, go get some reinforcements, and I don't know what happened. So I like his reaction at the very least.
Oh, it was a perfect reaction. Tyra, your thoughts on this? And do you think someone was upstairs, or was it just his paranoia at this point in the episode, or was it the crank that killer? Who was upstairs, Tyra? Who
There was definitely somebody upstairs. Like all of those little noise out of somewhere. And then you have to think when you are home alone, every little thing is so heightened. But I love, even though this is a whole horror situation, it's like, we black. I'm not going upstairs to check it out. I'm gonna, get my stuff and go to a public place with a whole lot of people. Like, I'm not going up there. But yeah, there was definitely somebody upstairs.
And to that point, I'm just very curious because we saw Al, he was strapped up in episode 4, light-skinned episode. He had his gun with him, but he didn't have his gun with him this whole episode, which I thought was a little bit odd.
Everybody else did.
Everyone. Even the baby had a gun in this episode. Brandon, man, are you curious? Is it me, or is it weird that Al doesn't have like an entourage or security? Is it a show thing? Is it like his personality? He just doesn't want to have that. I mean, I'm surprised Tracy isn't back being his security guard. Like, what's up with Al not having his backup, man?
Yeah, good point. I didn't even think about that. Because I was saying to myself, I didn't know his success grew so rapidly, because I was listening to y'all before I came on, and y'all was talking about how nice his house is. So apparently he has come up a lot and got the big dough. Another reason why the YWA episode stood out so much. So I don't know. I guess he should, but to answer your question, because I think I haven't yet, I think it's just his personality, because he doesn't want to live the life anymore.
Right.
He doesn't like the spotlight. I mean, he wants to be successful, because popularity can suck sometimes. Sometimes you just want to get in and get out.
Yep.
Some people that do what we do, they love the spotlight. Right. But I know other people that do what we do, they never want to show their face on camera. They don't really care for pictures and all that. And there's nothing wrong with either one. Right. I just think he's on the side of, look, I'm just trying to make my money. I don't really care for all of it. I thought I wanted it. And so this him not getting security may be him trying to humble himself and not, get his head blown up. Like, I need an entourage or security. He just, I think he's trying to, have his
trying to be a little normal.
Yeah,
I can hear you and I totally agree with you, but still you got to recognize that he is famous and popular, and he knows that, because he even goes to the mall in this episode with his disguise, because he doesn't want to be seen. He knows his popularity. If he's seen, he could be, sign this, do this, let me get a track. So I'm just curious, Tyra, have you ever consider why he doesn't have, and even in that episode I just mentioned with him with the gun, he had I assume those weren't other hip-hop artists besides Gunna, but I assume those were like security guards or his people. Is that just like a show, just like they don't want to write more characters, they don't want to take the focus off the main crew? Or do you think, like Brandon says, just kind of like he still sees himself as like, I can still walk around these streets, this is where I grew up, I ain't gonna be hackled all the time? But your thoughts on the lack of security?
I think it's that. I think it's a little bit of what B said, and just this show trying to be more grounded. It is Atlanta, but it is grounded in reality in a lot of ways. And a lot of the biggest rappers, we've seen so many things happen because people are out and about by themselves. It's like people aren't conducting themselves like they have on, $1 billion worth of anything. Like, it's just okay for you to, once you get to a certain plateau, you need security. Like it's a necessity. So it just shows that, he's just so like, I don't want to have to need security. I don't want to have to put on, the baseball cap without a label to walk around the mall. And it's just him moving further and further away from, why I want to go to the State Farm, because this isn't how this isn't how I want to live my life. But you would think that Tracy would be somewhere in the wind just in case something pops off. Like, right? He's not. It's like the bigger he got, the least people that he had around him. He went the opposite route, but he just wants to be old Al, who's just able to walk through the mall, and it's just not that anymore.
Yeah, I mean, and to be fair, he does have Darius around, and we haven't seen Darius. He might got those hands, Brandon and Tyra. He got the swords. He got the katana
Darius
swords in
might
the
be a
back. He
whole
might
ninja.
be a whole security system within himself. So maybe he does have the type flight security that we just don't know about, and that is in the form of our boy Darius here. But going into actually catching back up with our boy Paperboy again. He's in the disguise at the mall, and Brandon, the young lady, is like, I thought it was so funny. Can you go on IG Live? Which we talked about again. What people are just like, it's like
Horrible.
the first thing you ask is going live. But Brandon, the question I have for you, Chris Evans.
Yes.
They keep mentioning my boy Chris Evans. I know you mentioned in your review. And listen, me and Brandon, I know Tyra is an MCU hater.
Yes.
But and I respect that. They sometimes it's up and down. I agree, Tyra. But Chris Evans, we can all admit he's a great Captain America. Brandon, will we get Chris Evans? Will he make an appearance in this show, man? And what is the reference of Chris Evans? This is the second time we've heard of his name in the show.
Well, help me out because I don't remember the first time, but that would make my day.
Season 3, right?
He's in season. Well, he's not in 3, but they
In
reference a
season 3.
drink. They say a White Hennessy and a Chris Evans. And
he has the
Jazz.
Chris Evans. He has the Chris Evans looks down. You know,
It does.
with the blue blockers and the hat. You know, because I brought that image up in from Winter Soldier, or I can't remember which was Winter Soldier or Civil War. Probably Winter Soldier. But yeah, he has the look down. I mean, I don't know why. I guess Donald is a big fan of Chris Evans or the writers or something like that, just to keep throwing them in. You know, it would be crazy if that was really him over there, but I doubt it.
Yeah,
Elliot, I would love it, man, if Chris Evans popped up too. You don't have to have a shield, but if he did, that would be the icing on the cake.
Tower, any thoughts on? Again, I know you're not an MCU fan, but Chris Evans is a pretty awesome Cap. But your thoughts on that? Do you think there's a more deeper meaning to it? I know, and shout out to Tyra, or not Tyra, but Sharana for Pay Her Way. I know she's a big Chris Evans fan, and things like that. But your thoughts on the Easter egg or any reference point you could think of Chris Evans?
I think it's just a little like a running gag throughout the show.
Like
just to mention him, I doubt because they did get since Liam Neeson just happened to be in the background, just at the bar. I don't put anything past this show, but I think if this was leading up to us actually getting a real Chris, like that would be really epic. Even though that would be epic if they can make that happen on the show. But it's just like the caliber of who you are. Like even you're Paperboy, but you're mirroring Chris Evans. You're walking around here with your little nameless baseball cap and your blue blockers trying to be incognito. Like this is the worst way to be incognito. You're standing out because you're trying to hide.
Right. Well, Tyra and Brandon and everyone in the chat, I have a surprise for you. Chris Evans himself isn't it? No, I'm just joking.
Look at me. Really me.
Chris Evans is joking. I do have something that is pretty neat as we're talking about this, and this is funny we're talking about because this came out, I think, yesterday. So to my point about, is it an inside joke? Will they get him? Well, Variety had an article that dropped literally yesterday, the 14th or Thursday or Friday. And as you all can see, they didn't try to reach out to Chris Evans. This is like the writers have like a running joke within the show, but they never try to get him. And funny enough, guys, on this post on Twitter, guess who responded?
Chris Evans.
Nice.
And he simply says, why not? Why didn't you reach out to him? Because Chris Evans might have appeared on the show. Brandon. It blows my mind that they could have got Chris Evans on the show, man.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
They need to make it happen.
They need to somehow just like reshoot it, do like some Easter egg to have him in there. That would be pretty awesome.
Post-credit scene or something. Season finale.
I love it. But getting back into the actual scene here, the young lady mentions that obviously Paperboy's there. Roberto's super excited. He's like, "Oh, Paperboy's here. This is my chance. This is my opportunity." So now this is where things get super fun for me because again, we love this show and we've talked about how many callbacks there are. And Brandon, my man, is out eating some pretzels, which I haven't. Man, that got me hungry when I saw him eating the pretzels at the mall. The the pretzels, so fire with the cinnamon pretzels. Good. I might have to go get some a little bit later today, Brandon. But he's outside eating his pretzels, and then he sees this car pull up, and it's a Dodge Charger. My man got his hair back, a pink jacket. Hey, Paperboy. And he runs off. B, your thoughts on that? Did it remind you of anything, my friend?
Well, first I want to talk about the pretzels. He asked for one, and she gonna give him 2 extra. Who wants 3 pretzels?
Don't tell nobody.
Yeah, don't tell nobody. But then she gonna talk trash, or not the pretzel lady. but the friend of Roberto
Yeah.
that got the message like, "This fat ass over there trying to get some pussy." And I'm just saying they was the same size, so I was, that may upset some people. But I was watching, I was like, wait a minute now, y'all probably weigh the same, So yeah, that bothered me. I'm just pull up the image. We can wait. What's going on now? What is going on? So she needs to chill out with that one.
Brandon said, "Hold up, wait a minute."
Yeah. But I know, man. I don't know. I heard y'all mention it earlier. I don't know who that was outside. It looked like one of my homeboys I went to school with. I was like, did you get a role? But I don't know who that was, man. I thought it was a random person that wanted to take a picture, but no, he wanted to do something else. So.
Yeah, he definitely did, man. Tyra, your thoughts on this gentleman, and did it remind you of anything?
Definitely. I went back to that season. Not even that, before we got to that scene and they were talking about the FBI's doing an investigation on Crank That Killer, anybody who was hanging out at the pool palace in the video. I was like, well, Al, you were, hanging out way back when in that whole episode where the bartender is like, the guy in the leather jacket. And I was like, is this the guy? Is this the guy that they were talking about in the, at the pool hall in the episode where Al was just talking and he was like, you don't want to see this guy. Like if you see this man run the other way, I'm like, is this the same guy? Like, or is this the Crank That Killer? Like, is this Al's friend from school? Like, who is this? Who is this guy? This guy could be anybody. But I thought for a minute, just that's later when we get into it, I'm like, is this a setup from Doug? Like, it was just so many different.
Yeah,
it was so many different scenarios. But the orange car, the jacket, the boots, the hair. I thought it was the guy that was mentioned in that season where he was chilling in the pool palace talking to the bartender.
Right. No, I think, and that's exactly where my head went, Tyra. I just so happened to, I had like a rewatch series not too long ago, and that was one of the last episodes we watched was the Streisand Effect, which I think I have a clip of it. So what Tyra was referring to is back in season 1, it's the trolling episode, and this also happens to be the same episode that Ern and Darius became friends, as Darius says at the end of the episode. But Al goes to the bar, as Tyra said, and he's talking to the bartender, and he's like, I'm looking for this dude Zan. And he's like, no, I don't know that guy, but another dude came in here looking for you, and this is exactly what he said.
But he was different. Shaved side of his head, pink jacket, and he wasn't a friend. Dodge challenge.
Wow.
So yeah, Tyra and Brandon and everyone in the chat, I think it's pretty safe to say that matches that description pretty spot on. Now, again, the schematics, the logistics of it all, I don't know. We want pink, dark pinkish, we could say that. And he said it was a 1970 Dodge Ram, but we can leave those details out. That was 4 years ago. He could have got a different jacket, he got to get a different upgrade of his car. But Brandon and Tyra, I think it's safe to say that we finally got the mystery guy that was referred to all the way back in 2016.
Yeah, man, you got the goes back. Yeah, it's crazy.
It's crazy, y'all. So I mean, again, it's just the callbacks that I'm loving, and I'm loving so much. But this is where we talked about earlier. I was on the edge of my seat. I thought this was the time we were going to see Paperboy die. Brandon, man, did you think at this point our boy was going to say RIP to him before the Avengers came and saved him with their guns?
I thought he was a goner at first, but after a good 10 seconds, I was like, oh, this dude is free. He's free to go. It's like he took the star from the Mario world and was invincible.
Stormtroopers can't shoot a damn thing.
Yeah, they're horrible. I mean, my goodness, it was like the Wild Wild West and nobody got shots. Like, this is the worst aim in life. I didn't understand it. I mean, it was so many times that so many people should have died, but nobody did. But it was funny.
One person died. We will talk about here.
It was funny though, man. It was funny. I mean, this dude picked up a little boy, used him as a human shield. Like the dude was running like down the hallway. The woman pulled the gun out of her stroller. I mean, what do you? I mean, I don't know. It was funny when he got outside. He was like cheering him on, shoot this motherfucker, shoot him. But yeah, man, I was just like, why does everybody have a gun and Al doesn't? Get a gun. And I know there's a lot of people on the right that are really happy with this because they're gun hungry, and if there's a crazy person with a gun, there needs to be a good guy with a gun, and which just causes chaos. Because if the authorities or just a bystander that nobody knows who initiated it, you know, and it's just gonna. I mean, I know they made a comedic joke about it, which was funny, but it was just a mess, a big mess.
I agree. Tyra, your thoughts on this scene? And as far everyone has a gun, which I lived, like I mentioned before, I lived in Georgia for a short period of time, and I know you guys live in Texas, which I know people carrying guns to church. But your thoughts on this, Tyra, on this scene here?
Just like, you're not safe. Al, you are not safe.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even think, like, just the viral thing made me think of, you know, PNB, even though the PNB Rock situation, it wasn't the location, there was always somebody there, but even just situations with like Pop Smoke, somebody, you know, getting your location or somebody sharing it. No, he didn't share his location. Somebody else, like old Paperboy's here in the mall, which led, you know, old dude to pull up. It's just like, you're not safe at any point in time. Like, not only with that situation, someone sharing your location, everybody in here is packing a gun. Everybody in here has a gun. Like, anything at any moment could happen to you. Like, you were just sitting here eating the pretzel and somebody just pulled up to take your life. And if everybody else didn't have a gun, like, he would have been gone. Like, I think like B, after so much gunfire, I was like, okay, well, apparently nobody's gonna get shot. Like, everybody has on armor or whatever. But just for a split second, I was like, is this it? Like, it was just so much gunfire, and he was just so like I need to, like, he wanted to get him so bad. I was like, why?
Yeah.
What did he do? Like, what is going on? And just the whole, like, it turned into like Die Hard. I was like, it was so much gunfire. You know, he got the Nino Brown situation. He using the kids to shoot his body. I was like, this is crazy. Like, who is this person? But this is, you know, one of those moments where it's like, why am I trying to do this again? Why don't I want to go to the safe farm? This is crazy. I might need to make my way to the safe farm because my life is in jeopardy. And even when my life is in jeopardy and all these things are happening, I still have things coming to me from both sides because somebody wants me to, you know, listen to their rap. Like, it's crazy.
Right. It's crazy. It is crazy. And I've lost count as far as him being on the verge of death from him running from those kids in season 1 in the woods episode, even last season with those white kids chasing him around. And now leading us to this, man. This dude is this. So this is what, if we're just assuming those are 3 times. I mean, 3 times a charm. I mean, I don't know. B, is this just a foreshadowing? We've been talking about forever. Are we gonna see him die, man? Are we seeing just the little Easter eggs of how things are gonna wrap up for Al?
I hope not, man. I really hope not. So hopefully he can make it.
If he's a crackhead with the belt. You're a crackhead, ain't you?
Hold on. I
2000 references.
I just got to say this real quick. I hate to interrupt, but I see we have 110 people watching, which is great. But we only have 55 thumbs up.
Wow!
Man. Can we get at least 100 thumbs up in the chat right now to help Mr. Elliott out? You know,
this is my face right now, B. This is my face. Like,
really?
We all having a good time. We laughing. We giving Easter eggs, having this great discussion. Can we get some likes? Yes, I would appreciate that, B. And as Zia say, hit the damn like button, guys. Come on now, it's free.
We 67. It's going up. But I had to fix that real quick. Sorry.
But no, people get upset when the people who have the channels are like, we ain't moving nothing. We ain't talking about nothing till y'all get the likes up. Like,
right.
I see why people bogart and, you know, put the wristcuffs up to get the likes up. Y'all just sitting there chilling. Hit the like button.
Yeah, hit the like button. I would appreciate it. And again, more importantly, check out Tyra and Brandon's page. The links can be found in the description. Show them some love and support. But yes, the face right now that he has on screen is how I'm feeling. Like, damn, that's how y'all feel. But hook a brother up. But listen, y'all, we wrap up to, and again, not even to gloss over the fact that we talked about them Earn eventually coming around and saying, you know what, I'll kiss you. But I mean, seriously, are we really got to do this? And actually, before we even get there, I can't figure out the part that he muffed Roberto, Brandon, Tyra so hard. He pushed my man. And first off, who in their right mind, Brandon, thinks about to rap in the middle of a gunfight?
Somebody delusional, man.
Like, someone delusional is right. Brandon, your thoughts, and we talked about it earlier. You weren't on the stream quite yet, Brandon. But do you think this Roberto character is going to have more to do in this show, or is he just a one-off, just kind of a obscure? You know, we got the white lady in a couple episodes ago that will probably never pop up again. Or do you think there'll be more to Roberto?
I'm thinking there has to be, man, because I was really trying to figure out why we were spending so much time with him in the car and his marriage, and they're living with the mother and all that. So I was thinking, did he pop up in a previous season that I just don't remember?
Ah, it's
So
the first time,
you
yeah.
know, yeah, I gotta figure it out. But man, he hit him with the stiff arm from the century, bro. Like he did the Tasmanian devil roll into that glass
Hold on, let
bow
me try
and
to
didn't
play it right
care,
quick.
you
Hopefully it
know.
don't get pulled down. Let me
I,
actually play the clip. Let
bro,
me see.
thank you.
It happened so quickly, so maybe
Ugh, like, he is in the hospital. You know what I'm saying? Man, his insurance
oh
is not even gonna
man.
pay for that. It was so stupid to do, but
He needs a safe farm after this.
right.
Man.
It was hilarious, man. I was rolling.
I mean, Tyra, who in their right mind? Again, I understand he's struggling living at home with his sister, got a baby mama, got a baby, but I mean, come on, Tyra, this is just not the right time or place.
Desperation. I might not get this chance again. I'm not gonna see him again. Like my life is a movie. The jacuzzi, like first of all, the rhymes were whack. Like you did all of that and it was whack.
Right.
Like I thought at least he was gonna spit some bars, and then I was like, well, like at least we know that Paperboy could have been a football player because the blunt force to push that man like that. But I'm like, this is, another person who felt like, oh, I was just trying to, I just wanted you to hear me out. And you maybe broke something from the way he went through that glass. I don't know.
Yeah.
Somebody who could come back for Paperboy, just like old dude pulled up at the mall. Like he just needs to go to that safe farm like today.
I mean, listen, who knows? We might get a happy ending by the end of the show. It might be Al featuring Roberto, featuring some dude named Doug, featuring Rick Morandes. We might get that track. It might be something that might be fire.
Can I ask y'all a question about Roberto though?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I mean, look, I don't mean to crap on aspiring rappers out there, but they don't get the best name. They're saying, oh, what do you do? Oh, I'm a rapper. It's just like, I'm not saying that you can't make it, and I'm not saying that you can't be aspiring and be talented, because I know some people here in Dallas, they can spit some fire, but it's just a saturated market. But this brother right here, Roberto, I'm assuming he was married, or maybe that's his girlfriend, but they have a family, living with the mom, one car. Man, you got the photos. Okay, yeah. And
the photos,
Ellie's prepared, man. I was really concerned with the woman, whether that's his wife or girlfriend, speaking up about the situation or the lack thereof, because she just wasn't happy. It didn't seem that way, because I mean, he's an aspiring rapper, and you're working. Did he work at Sabero, or he was giving out samples?
No, that was the girl worked at Sabero. He was giving out samples in front of something in the little with the food court.
That's just no bueno. Like you just, I was like, bro, you got to step it up. He would just, I don't know. I would just like the woman just say something like, baby, you need to come on. You gotta do more.
Yeah.
So that would just kind of brushed over to me. I mean, I don't know, Tyra, if you have any comments on that, but I was
you
really
already know.
Yeah, I was really curious on how women felt about that scene. So I would love to hear your thoughts if you don't mind.
Dude, like, I'm all for supporting you as your woman. We have children. I love your dreams, but there should be some facet to where you can work on your dream and also do something substantial enough to, bring some money into the house and take care of your family, to where we're not, depending on somebody else. Like, I'm all for, my life is a movie, Uzis and jacuzzis and whatnot, but so you could bring, a check, to where we're okay. Like I was glad that she did say something, but she just felt so like, oh, okay, well, all right, babe. But yeah, like, no, your life gonna be a movie in the jacuzzi for real. You don't bring no damn check in this house.
Right. Well, it was bugging me.
And shout out to the great question, Brandon and Tyra. Couldn't have said it better myself. I totally agree with y'all. And UPS is hiring. Yes, they are. Yes, they are indeed. Always hiring.
There are so many other jobs. Like like he said, rappers do tend to, or aspiring rappers do get a bad rap, because when it's all about, your passion, and you have to devote every inch and ounce of your time to that. Like, but if it's just you, cool. But when you have a family and you have other, circumstances, life is a movie in a jacuzzi, and then, take your ass to the UPS office and, work.
Right. Write those bars on your lunch break. Yeah.
That's the key thing you said. If it's just you, that's
just you. Do whatever you want to do.
Right. I agree. And we talked about this earlier. I think Roberto does parallel a lot of me and Tyra talked about it earlier. There seems to be a lot of parallels going on with that character. Again, it could be a one-off. It could literally just be a mirror of some dude named Doug, how he literally took advantage of this dude literally running from his life, and he thought it was the great time to say, hey, you want to make a track together? So I don't know if it's just to that surface level, not surface level, but to that connection, or if we'll see Roberto again. Who knows? Who knows?
Oh man.
Y'all let them know. Send them
Walmart warehouse.
Walmart warehouse. Amazon's always hiring. Dollar Tree, I mean,
you know the
anywhere.
mall, the food court, man. You clocking
Come on, man.
$6 an hour, man.
Come on.
No, no, we can't. That's minimum wage. We can't buy no Huggies with that.
But as we get, and I can't skip over this part here. So as we talked about a little bit earlier of these two, what they've been up to, Darius and they've agreed. They've come to an agreement. 3 seconds is the deal. 3 seconds was the agreed upon time. Brandon, after this 3 seconds, I mean, it's just a waste, I guess, right? Because my man ends up getting shot.
Bruh, this could have waited 5 more seconds, man. Stall, man. It's they did it.
They did it, yeah.
For no damn reason, I'm glad they took the shoes. I would have took some more.
Man, they had me dying when they did that. It was like, let me get a size 10. Let me get that was hilarious.
Right. Wipe my fingerprints off. It just sucks. I kind of wish the dude wouldn't have gotten shot. You know what I'm saying? It's a waste.
All for nothing.
And that's so funny. Brandon talked about earlier as far as them literally missing point blank, but then the guy gets shot, a ricochet, which goes back to Brandon's point as far as like people having guns, and this is like obviously a bystander got shot. And one person that wasn't even involved in the shootout got shot. Tyra, your thoughts on them? And I gotta know, would you have taken the shoes and taken a little bit more?
I would have taken
more things?
every single shoe in there. I'm giving my money's worth. I didn't kiss for this. All my life shit for these many seconds for you to get shot, and I would have taken everything. But though this was really played for laughs, like this picture is cracking me up. Like, why you got this in my face, Elliot? But I really low key felt bad for Ern, because I'm like, Ern, you could have walked away and you could have said no, but you're trying to appease Darius because he just desperately needs these shoes. But Ern felt really, really bothered because it was like, come on, brother, come on, like, man, we ain't gotta be out here like this. We deserve better. Like, we don't have to do this, especially in the place that they are. Like, they are so financially well off. Like, right. You guys are fine. Like, what was the desperation for? But it was just like he was compromising. He felt some type of way about compromising his morals, and of course, Darius just didn't care. I had to do something a little strange, for these shoes, but I got them. Like, it's nothing. But I kind of felt bad for Ern. Like, you should have just walked away if you're just this. Because even after the fact, it's like, we had to do something for these, but and he's like, oh God.
So Ern moved the shoes down from the coffee table. Like,
I really did not want to kiss you, but it's like, if you did, it just made me think about his therapy and how that maybe made him feel. But of course, nobody knows exactly what happened to him but him. But they I just wish they had, what was it all for? He got shot instantly, it was for nothing. Definitely take every single pair of shoes out of that van.
And shout out to Nicole. Yes, and I can't skip over the KC JoJo all my life, and he looked in the mirror. Oh yeah.
Have y'all ever thought about getting bulletproof windows on your cars? I mean, I've thought about it.
No. I'm out in I live out in St. Louis, where there's definitely a lot of senseless crimes, but no, I never thought about getting a tenant.
I have, man, and this made me think about it more. I just had to throw that out there. So.
Hey, man, let us know, man. If you do, got take us some pictures, share them.
It might be if we're at the point to where we're giving kids bulletproof backpacks to go to school. Why not? Man.
Where have we come? Shout out to my man Nan, who joined us last week, and hopefully he can join us before we wrap up the show. He definitely is the kiss. The kiss is it's a moment, guys. It's a moment. But at this point, Al has made it out of the mall, and he is he thinks he's met the end. He's at the end of the line, but in comes his hero in the form of that dude named Doug. But before even that, just quickly, Tyra, Brandon, do you think this dude actually died? Or do you think, and I'm referring to his friend from high school that was letting the shots off, or do you think he's still out there?
I think
he's
he's
still out there.
Still alive, Michael Myers. He ain't
Definitely.
dead.
Because there was just like it was so much gunfire happening back and forth. I think that the shooting kind of distracted, from him trying to go after Al in that moment. But I don't even think he got arrested. I think he got away and like he lived to fight another day.
Right. And someone even mentioned in my comment section, going back to Al's comments on the news, that wasn't even on the news, right? And it was just so like they didn't even bring it up on the news. It was just like another day in Atlanta, just another shooting, senseless shooting, and nothing came about it. So, but yeah, guys, Doug, perfect time. And Tyra, I think you alluded to her earlier, but if you wanted to go back and see your thoughts, I think we feel like Doug had something to do with it.
Oh, yes, contrived. You just happened. You just happened to be
It
here.
was fate, as he says, right?
It just happened. It made me think of, I don't know what episode that was when the gold phone went missing and old boy had it the whole time.
Yeah, the white, I can't think of his name right now. Yeah.
Yep. That whole contrived situation, like the way that, because he, was already so eager to get that opportunity, but it's like, I saved your life, so now you're obligated to do a song with me. Like, it was, he just came in like so easily. I'm like, maybe he got the same, post, Paperboy's at the mall, and it's like, this might, life is a movie, who's in the jacuzzis, this might be my opportunity to get him, on a song. But just, yet again about, just being so oblivious. You're running up to me and there's gunfire. I'm pushing you in some glass.
Yep.
You are saving me, but I just almost died. Like I just had a whole traumatic life experience. And all you can say is, we definitely need to do this song now. You want to hear my beats? No. No, I do not. But like once again, he did end up doing the song with him.
Too nice of a guy. B man, what did you think? Did you think that this dude Doug had something to do with it, or was it just fate? Was it just
100%? He has something to do with it. This dude is the lamest, pettiest guy. Can't take a hint. Just obsessive stalker. To the point to where Al damages his own equipment. He just said fuck it and just destroyed the whole soundboard at the beginning. So dude's a bug. I mean, like he didn't even want to. The thing about it is Al doesn't hold his tongue. He don't mind telling somebody, hell no, get away from me. But instead of saying that to Doug, you want to destroy your own equipment. That's what you do to psychopaths. I don't want to upset this guy. Let me pretend like I'm taking the pictures. So I don't get my heart eaten out or whatever. And so, 100% Doug was a part of this. Excuse me. He hired him. Excuse me. Also, he wasn't. It's the middle of a gun battle. And he was all calm and relaxed and just like, hey, get in. Who does that? Why are you not nervous that you're going to get your head blown off? So I think it is Doug. But the first
frustration in this front seat, it looks like when he was trying to get that haircut and he was so frustrated. And it's like,
can we get Bibby back, please? Can we get that? I think we can all relate to that. Hair salons, barbershops, 16-hour. Oh my goodness, go ahead, B.
No, I thought he was gonna die at first. I thought Doug was gonna kill him. Like you do this time, I'm gonna slit your throat. But I also thought Al was gonna open the door and dive out the car. I would have died if he did that. Just said F it and just did a barrel roll or something. Yeah. That would have been funny. He'd rather go to the hospital than and he asked him, do you want to listen to my beats? No, I want to go to the police station, so Doug is scary. He needs some help.
I wonder if hold on, let me see. Can you hear this song? Who you want? Hold on. I don't want to get the stream pulled down, but that beat is something else. That beat was something else.
That beat from that Barbra Streisand Effect episode.
Yeah, 100%. This Fruity Loop Productions, man. This man. Telling y'all, we need to get that Roberto. Need to get that some dude named Doug track. It's probably hot lava. Man, that track is something else, y'all. But wrapping up the episode at this point, they're back at his crib. And he, is again cool, calm, collective. You just got shot at, but I assume this was in the same day, if I'm not mistaken. But they're kicking back. Oh, how was your day? Oh, it was fine. I ran into some dude at the mall that still got beef from
that's casual
from high school. Okay, what y'all do? We got the shoes. I'm glad you noticed. We had to do little things for it, but we are here now. And we also hear him mention that he think about getting a safe farm, which I think we might see that, Tyra and Brandon. Even if and I know Brandon, you did a trailer reaction. I think there's a shot in the trailer where we see him like on a tractor. So I don't know if he ends up do getting a safe farm with Souja Boy, but wrapping it up, Tyra. We get the beat. He's it's out there for the people to hear. The song with him and our boy Doug. Just your thoughts on the ending here, Tyra.
That once again putting the mirror up, like just get out of Dodge. There's no room for Paperboy and his I would love, because they hold Paperboy here, or he holds himself to a higher standard, you know, like I'm an MC type rhymes, like, but we've never like heard Paperboy like spit like,
right,
oh, that's fire, like you so much better than, you know, all these other people on the radio. But you know, like once again, despite Yodel Kid or whoever else, kid named Doug, like it's trash. I'm trying to catch the beat, but you're dancing to it. Like this still, you know, might be popular. Like it's trash. This song might blow up. Like it might be a whole situation, but just how casual he was, like, you know, yeah, somebody rolled up, a kid from high school, you know, it was nothing. Like you almost died. You almost died, but I did see him eyeing I see that he's growing weed in the house. So it's like, you know, I might want to, maybe I could just go live off the farm, live off the land and grow weed and just be at peace. So hopefully I think we'll get more of that than, you know, having somebody come at him and try to take his life every other episode.
I agree. B, your thoughts on this ending, man, and that track. Are you bumping it in your bulletproof windowed car, my friend?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All that with the crank at the pool palace, all that. I'm loving it. I kind of was hoping that they would have hey Darius, let's go look upstairs. I heard this noise earlier.
Yeah, go upstairs with me.
Because we didn't know what that was about. But then just randomly he got a whole weed farm in his house. I'm like, damn, like what's going on? What century are we living in now? So that was nice. That was nice. But you know, it was weird that he was so calm and collected about it.
Yeah,
you know, I wanted an explanation. Yeah, man, this dude from high school still got a grudge. I'm like, what? Like, this was a big deal here.
Well, I'm thinking, you know, now that I'm thinking, like, this is how many times, and I think we might be off with 3. Like, somebody has tried to take his life so many times.
It's just
he
like,
might just be like, you know, it's a Tuesday.
Yeah, right.
I guess. You're right. You're right. But no, with the ending, it was funny, you know, Darius doing the dance to the beat, you know, Ern talking about it. Sounds more sound than music.
Right.
But it was just the lyrics. Sometimes in the intro to the song as well, he was like, yeah, it's your boy Doug with Paperboy. Hey man, you don't gotta let people know I'm on the track. You don't gotta say my name. Like, what if they ask who you are? You know, I'm Ghostface or something. You know, I'm Casper. Don't say my name. I'm Black Knight. You know, Death. Don't say my name. But he really did not want his name on the track. You know, and the thing about it is Doug was just so happy he didn't even cut it out. He just left.
Just kept it in there, right? Unedited.
Left it in the right.
The
raw file.
Yep.
No edit, no pinnacles, none of that. So. That it was funny, man. But it made his day. And so I don't know if there's a pump stuff back around, but it'd be funny.
Hot fire.
Dropping the little I didn't even notice that. That might be the Blue Blood's wife gave him that little plant. Yeah, good call. 9. See? Yeah. 9's always hitting it.
Like where he at?
He's probably editing, you know, he's doing his Doug thing, editing. He's in the studio right now, getting out his reviews locked and loaded for the people out there. But yeah, man, that track, I'm gonna try to play 2 seconds of it because it was so funny. Or at least we got to see Darius cranking that his dance right here. Let me see. Let me know if y'all can hear this. Let's see.
Thing I don't know. It's more sound than music. Yeah, it is, right?
Oh my goodness. Well, shout out to them. Shout out to this episode. And shout out to Darius trying to catch the beat. But any final words, Tyra, on this episode? And I don't know if the trailer for episode 7 has dropped. I haven't seen it yet. Any thoughts on what you hope? Again, we know this show is very unconventional, so it can be a completely different episode than what we got today. But any hopes of what you want to see next week?
I'm waiting for Ern and Van to be camping. I am waiting so hard for that conversation, you know, about him leaving and going to LA. That's what I'm waiting for. But even if it's not that, I'm sure that the next episode will be a whole experience. I have not seen the trailer for the next thing, but I'm looking forward to anything Atlanta has to drop because it's going to be a vibe every single time. And I think whenever, you know, any of us, whoever blows up on YouTube first, invest in a safe farm so I can come over.
Yep. Like a safe neighbor. Safe Farmers there.
Mr. 40K Elliott.
Oh, thank you, guys, thank you. B, man, any final thoughts for you, my friend? And I think Tyra, I think you might be right. Because I don't have cable. I'm very, like Darius mentioned earlier, I cut my cable years ago, but I think someone told me that they saw the trailer from FX, and I think it is the farm, or not the farm, but Ern, Van, and Lottie on that camping trip. But man, what would you like to see B moving forward with our final 4 episodes, man?
I want to see all 6 characters in one room together. Ern, Al, Paperboy, Van, and Lottie. Okay, 5 characters. I would like to just see them all in one room together. That would be nice. I don't care what they do. I just want to see them together.
Yeah, I think so. Another Van episode. And I've been saying it. We need a Darius episode, y'all. Yeah. We need that Darius focus episode. And I think from the trailer, he punches someone, some white women are laughing at him. He's in the car with a girl. I think we're gonna get a Darius episode, and I am so here for it. I need to meet someone from his family, his dating life. Like what's going on with Darius? Does he live with Al in his house? So many things. But this has been so much fun. Again, as I mentioned, Sundays are my favorite days of the week, not only because we get to talk about this great show with some amazing people, as you guys can see on the screen now, but later tonight, we'll be talking about them Dragons. And I know my man Brandon's got his weekly roundup, which is like the sports center of movie and TV news. So I'm excited to see what he has for us this week, and hopefully I can maybe join him later. But Tyra, we're going to wrap it up with our outro. Again, I cannot thank you enough for always showing some love and support and dropping the knowledge, the laughs, the thrills, all that great stuff that you bring to this conversation, and of course to your own platform. So if you want to let the people know where they can find you, and what's the next throwback new review that you got lined up for the people?
Oh, well, I think last time I was here, I was trying to get to that 8K. I'm trying to get to 9K.
Yes.
Walk on over to my channel and subscribe to help me get, to my 10K. But Menace to Society is definitely coming up this week. Scream Black Scream is coming up. Terrifier 2. A few other things. I need to get up my trailer reaction for House Party because I have some words for that. And also be sure to check out my latest post. I discuss Power, Raising Kanan on my channel. Of course, my episodes of Atlanta, the new Halloween Ends. Like there's just endless content. Hellraiser. There's always something good going on the channel. But the throwbacks that are coming out like soon. Do not miss Menace to Society because I got to get real gangster for that one. So be outside for that. Yeah.
Again, I can't wait to see all her wonderful videos she's going to have lined up this coming week. And Halloween Ends. Oh my goodness, Tyler. But Brandon, my man, like I said, I kind of alluded to it, but I know you got your show later today. But what other shows and movies you got lined up for the people that you're going to drop some hot fire for some reviews for this week, man?
Yeah, man. I got the show later on today. Somebody was asking me in the chat, what time will I be going live today? I'm probably going to move it up another 30 minutes to go live at 5:30 p.m. tonight. I usually do it at 6:30, but because of House of the Dragons, I moved it up to 6. But today I may move it up to 5:30. Also, because the Cowboy game is tonight. So just make sure you subscribe and check that out. Also, before I continue on, Elliot, congratulations, bro, on 40K. That's what's up right there. Your channel is growing like fire. And so, guys, if you this first time joining Elliot, subscribe to his channel. I'm right there as well. I'm close. I haven't made it yet to 40K, but I'm trying to climb over that hill. I need 118 more subscribers to go to get to 40K. So if you're watching us right now and this is your first time seeing me and you haven't subscribed to my channel, go ahead and subscribe, and I would love to have you. Reasons why you want to subscribe is, like Elliot said, I have a weekly movie news roundup show every Sunday, 5:30 today. One of the things I'm going to be talking about is Brendan Fraser actually may come back for a Mummy 4 sequel. Also, we'll be talking about Halloween Ends, full spoiler discussion. Going to be spending a good 20, 25, maybe 30 minutes on that, going into how horrible I thought that movie was. Also, I covered She-Hulk. I got a non-spoiler review for Halloween Ends. I have my own recount for this episode of Atlanta, episode 6, if you want to check that out. I do have a trailer reaction on my channel for the House Party reboot. Also, I have a trailer reaction for the Megan film, the horror doll that's going around killing people. Tyra mentioned it earlier in this video, but Netflix does have a new series on Netflix called The Watcher, and I have my review for that. I posted that on my channel yesterday. And then me and Tyra, we did a recap for the latest episode of Raising Kanan, season 2, episode 9, and that was pretty good. And I don't know if you can see it, but the reason why I was late is because actually while Elliot was starting his stream today, I was recording my review for the Curse of Bridge Hollow, which stars Marlon Wayans and Kelly Rowland. I had fun with that movie. It was silly. I have fun with it overall, other than black girls playing in cemeteries and Ouija boards, but it was still a good movie that I had a lot of fun with. So I got all those reviews, recaps, reactions on my channel. Come through, help me pass 40K. I would really appreciate it.
The football fans out there, is that who your team's going against today?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, and I see they're looking good. B, you're Dallas with 4-1.
Yeah, all the Cowboy haters out there, we're doing all right. We are doing all right. We're doing all right.
That's what's up, man. I hope they get that dub, man. I hope they get that W. But guys, again, it's always great talking to Tyra and Brandon, and I appreciate you guys' support. And hopefully we can catch up and talk about the latest episode next week. But in between then and now, man, definitely show Tyra some love. Get her over that next awesome milestone. Help my man B get to his 40K. Show them some love and support, y'all. Check out those videos, subscribe, all that good stuff. And like I said, as far as tonight, we'll be back talking some House of the Dragons. And I got to end this stream on this note. I'm going to try to line it up perfectly with, I think, a collaboration we need in the future between this dance move and this song. Let me see if I can link it up perfectly. We're going to outro on this thing here. So we'll end on this note with these fire dance moves with this track. Let me see if I can line it up perfectly here. Let's see if we can do it. We're going to line it up. All right. We'll see y'all on the next stream.
You stupid. I love it. I love it.
Perfect.
I love it.